Good evening and welcome to Ville News. I'm Paige Davis alongside Lauren O'Brien, here to give you the latest local, state, and national headlines.
Coming up, we have updates on the arrest of a criminal in Maryland and a tuberculosis outbreak in Kansas. Stay tuned because Ville News starts now.
On Monday, February 17th, authorities said the leader of a cult-like group has been linked to multiple killings, which includes the fatal shooting of a Border Patrol officer in Vermont last month, was arrested in Maryland on charges of trespassing and other crimes. 34-year-old Jack Lasota, who goes by Ziz, was taken into custody Sunday in Frostburg, a rural area roughly midway between Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. Lasota resides in Berkeley, California, and also faces a firearms charge in obstructing and hindering justice. Two other people, 32-year-old Michelle Zajico of Media, Pennsylvania, and 26-year-old Daniel Blank of Sacramento, California, were arrested on similar charges. State police said all three were being held at a local jail.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have revealed that Kansas is facing one of the largest recorded tuberculosis outbreaks in the U.S. According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, as of January 24th, 67 cases of active TB have been confirmed. Additionally, 79 latent cases have also been confirmed. So far, 2 deaths have been confirmed, but they occurred during the previous years. Health officials in Kansas have said that the risk to those in Kansas and the general public is very low, and to follow the CDC's recommendations. While the CDC says that the current outbreak is one of the largest with outbreaks in 2015, a homeless shelter, and in 2021 from a contaminated bone graft surgery, both being larger.
When we get back, updates on a fire in an aerospace distributor building and a house fire in Bensalem. Ville News will be right back. An aerospace distributor building named SPS Technologies in Jenkinstown, Pennsylvania, suffered a 4-alarm fire on the night of February 17th. Montgomery County officials recommended that over 700 residents in the area evacuate as hazardous smoke surrounded the vicinity. A temporary shelter has been placed for residents at Chantalem High School. Government officials are not sure when residents can return home. As Abington Township Police Chief stated that, quote, the difficulty to access our firefighters out in that weather and with equipment. It's very difficult for them to completely extinguish this fire, end quote. No injuries have been reported thus far due to the fire, and all employees from the building were safely evacuated away from harm.
Last week, a house was set on fire in Bensalem, PA. The fire was caused by Michigan resident 24-year-old Harrison Jones. Officials say that Jones is the ex-boyfriend of a woman from Michigan who was in an online relationship with a male resident in the Bensalem house since 2023. The director of public safety for the time for the Bensalem Township Police Department, William McVeigh, says, quote, he drove over 730 miles and 11 hours to do what he did. Documents state that Jones was supposed to drive his ex-girlfriend to meet the man instead. Investigators said he drove to Bensalem on his own with murderous intentions. Jones is reportedly being charged with 6 counts of attempted homicide, arson, and related offenses.
When we get back, we'll have updates on layoffs at Franklin and Marshall College and a tractor-trailer driver charged with homicide. Ville News will be right back. Franklin and Marshall College is set to lay off an unspecified amount of staff this coming April, was said in a statement from President Barbara Altman, who is planning to retire at the end of the school year. A spokesman for the college, Pete Durantime, said in a statement to LMP, quote, numerous peer institutions, end quote, that are in similar circumstances. The reason for the cuts are due to low enrollment the college is experiencing. A sophomore student at F&M said, quote, I was not aware of this. I knew some of the faculty has left on their own accord, but haven't heard anything about cuts, end quote, showing that the student body most likely will not receive more information about the subject until April. The university has been in a steady decline since 2019, dropping from 2,443 students to 1,867 in just 5 years. 17% of those institutions' student body is international students, which the college fears might impact enrollment in the future in light of federal orders altering the U.S. visa policies. The tuition rate is currently $70,566 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
A tractor-trailer driver was charged after a deadly 3-vehicle crash and fire in Cumberland County. George Davis, 64, of New Jersey, crashed into the back of a stopped SUV. The crash caused the SUV to burst into flames and hit another vehicle in front of it. Kirsten Radage, the driver of the vehicle that caught on fire, tragically died at the scene from multiple injuries sustained from the crash. The tractor-trailer and SUV both caught on fire. Footage obtained during the investigation showed that Davis was both awake and not on his phone before the crash. Additionally, he did not respond to the flashing warning board or stop traffic. David will face a felony charge of homicide by vehicle, as well as a misdemeanor charges of involuntary manslaughter and recklessly endangering another person.
That's all we have this week for Ville News. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in next week for the latest local, state, and national headlines.